Well, hello, Canoe fans. Here's your update now from a cloudy Wednesday afternoon here at our undisclosed location in central South Carolina. All right, so yesterday we dodged thunderstorms and cloudburst, and we managed to put a coat of epoxy on the outside of this canoe and to tape up the joints on the outside with the fiberglass and all the rest of that. It is a learning process, though. We've never done this before, and there's some things we had to kind of improvise as we went along, and a few things that we're going to be working on to remediate today. Let me turn this around now so you can see where we stand, and you'll see that the canoe is still looking very much canoe-like, and that's good. Everything seemed to have sealed up pretty well, except there's some air bubbles in here. And see, we had trouble with an actual cloud burst. We had to run inside, just throw a cover cloth, a drop cloth over it to protect it from rain. And in the process, we got a few things like you can see along here. There's some air bubbles underneath the tape. Now, there's a coat of epoxy over them, so they'll probably be waterproof and resilient enough when we get started. But I'm just concerned that down the road, well, down the river, let's say, that if that tape ever breaks, if that epoxy film ever cracks, we might get some water leakage in there and actually have some damage set in. So we don't want to do that. So we're getting some syringes from the Tractor Supply Company in a nearby town, and we're going to try to inject some thick epoxy up underneath those bubbles just to fill in underneath. You may be hearing some jet noise overhead too. We call it the noise of freedom, right? There's an Air Force base not far from here, and we get flyovers over the lake because, after all, that's not disturbing people in an urban area, is it? One other kind of fun thing, embarrassing thing, whatever. This is the transparency part. You may have noticed something odd, some decoration on the side of our canoe. Yes, that is a tongue depressor. That's what we're using to mix up the epoxy. And we had an absolute cloudburst yesterday that interrupted our work. And in the hurry to get it covered up before the water could damage the epoxy surface, we apparently threw a tongue depressor into the mix when we covered it over. Got up this morning and there it is, big as life. And I guess we'll just have to chip it off. These things happen. It just comes from being a kind of rough cut boat building operation. So anyway, things are looking pretty good here. We're kind of encouraged by it, hoping that the rain will hold off enough that we can get those little air bubbles filled in. Once again, we'll take a look out there. There's the lake, which we hope to be seeing from Canoe in a few more days. Anyway, that's it for now, and we'll give you another update. Oh, and I apologize for not showing work in progress. Let me tell you, once you get started with this epoxy and the fiberglass tape, all hands are busy, all hands are sticky. It's kind of hard to break off and get the camera out. So I just apologize for the lack of in-progress stuff at that point. We'll just have to make that up some other time to you, okay? Thanks a lot, and we'll have another update later on.